Hey everybody, welcome to Comedians in Quarantine. It's been like 20 days of quarantine so far.
Yep.
More for me than Sonia because Sonia's like, I have friends I want to see. Woohoo. And don't worry, they won't die because they're under 60, so who cares? I think that's a direct quote.
Yeah, that was it.
So we're doing an AMA, an Ask Me Anything. And that's going to be the first question we'll answer right there because the first question I got when I said we're doing an AMA, what are your questions? The first question was, what is an AMA?
And that was coming from me.
Also, the biggest question people keep asking also is, will we be doing or are we planning on organizing a virtual comedy show to do stand-up comedy online? And I probably not. I would be more likely to if somebody came up to me and said, hey, we want to do a comedy show. Will you do a set on it? I would be more likely to say yes to that and see how it works on Zoom. Because the real problem is, it just sounds awkward and stupid. What about you?
Live comedy show. Well, I will be live on the 17th of April in case anybody speaks German and in case anybody likes cabaret.
No one speaks German.
No, what's what?
In the world.
Well, you guys, if you speak German, if you like cabaret, I'm going to be live on the Corona stage. That's from the Standard newspaper. And that's going to be airing on the 17th of April at 2 p.m. or 1400, as we like to say.
What is your favorite city that you performed in? So, because we both had to cancel our tours about this question for me feels a bit bittersweet. You first?
My favorite city that I've ever performed in, there's a really, really, really cute city in the south of Germany. It is called Esslingen. And I performed there at Cabaret der Galgenstricke. And they have a really awesome audience. If you're ever there, you should check it out. Also, it's a really beautiful city. And that was real fun, actually.
I would say Paris is probably my favorite place as a city that I performed in. As far as actually the performance, not really. I mean, they were fine. They were just small. And some of the people were quite generous. I had one dude give me $50 for one sticker.
Oh yeah, that was there, huh?
That was there. So things like that were nice. Thank you, Matthew Lux. You might actually be watching this. Let's see. As a place to perform, it's probably Stuttgart. Stuttgart's been very nice to me. I pretty much sell out a show every time I go. Apparently, the most inflammatory thing I've ever done is my Wizz Air joke, where I have a joke about Wizz Air just being a bad airline, which I feel like is an irrefutable fact. It is a terrible airline. And the only people who seem to get mad about it are Hungarians because, if we're being honest, I don't think Hungary has anything else that's ever positively or negatively done to affect the world. So they just have to grasp on to this little bit of like, look at us, we have Wizz Air. Who else can make an airline run for 6 paper clips and a rubber band? Not Slovakia, that too, Hungary. Fuck you, you're all gypsies. That's what Hungarians say to Slovak people. So, whenever I just posted a very harmless joke about not liking Wizz Air.
And he's so likable. Like, how could you not? Like, it was, I mean, you just have to love this man.
Yeah, I just posted a thing just saying it's a bad airline and the slogan should be treat yourself like shit because you deserve it. And I've had so many angry faces on this. It's been one of the most inflammatory things I've ever done, and I have said a lot of heinous things on stage.
All right, next question that we got was, what do we consider our biggest success? Or what are we most proud of? That doesn't necessarily have to be the same thing. So, Reggie.
Let's start with Sonia, obviously.
Well, obviously.
Yeah.
Okay, I got the Austrian Cabaret Prize. So that was pretty big. It was, it's the thing. It was my biggest success, I'd say, objectively. And
I love how you wanted to jump in and be like, Reggie, why don't you start so I can do everything I say, and then she's like, oh yeah, well, excuse me, but I won the Austrian Cabaret Prize.
Well, anyway, that was a really cool thing. It was, it felt really great. I was very proud of that. So, first of all, what did you do before you went into comedy? I was a biomedical scientist.
Yeah.
Yeah. After I graduated from high school, I became a biomedical scientist. I majored in neuroscience. And that's actually a really decent job. And I was already offered a PhD thesis and I was good at it. And it all sounds really cool. It all sounds...
it doesn't.
Yeah,
you fucking nerd. What a nerd.
Oh,
nothing sounds better than watching RNA synthesize.
Yeah, that's true. I love it. RNA.
So I've never had like this was my profession before that, but I studied classical guitar. So I was a musician. I studied classical guitar for 4 years. I studied percussive guitar specifically. I was quite good at that. I studied composition as well. I wrote a few hundred songs. And then I finished university, and university has the ability to make any subject boring.
University could make puppies boring.
Yeah, like imagine you like puppies, and then you go to university, and for 4 years they make you dissect puppies, and you have to just see like, oh, that's what a puppy's spleen looks like, and let me just cut that open. Oh, that's a pancreas. Oh, look at this. This is the amygdala of a dog, of a cocker spaniel, and it definitely takes all the fun away from puppies if you have to kind of analytically break something down that much. And it's the same thing with music, 100% one-to-one in that analogy. I also wrote 5 books that I was much better at writing than I was at selling to publishers, because I get very easily distracted by trying to follow the artistic passion rather than the business, and that's what Comedy Change was the first thing I was willing to do all the admin and the business for to make it work.
So what's up next?
Weirdest audience reactions or stage situation.
Oh, you're gonna win that.
Of course I am.
My weirdest audience reaction. I mean, I've had a woman walk up to me after a show and say in like the most neutral voice ever. She said, "That was a very nice show. Here's a pomegranate."
You've also had multiple shows that you finished and somebody has come up and given you mustard.
That's also true.
Multiple
Very
shows,
weird
multiple
things.
people.
Oh yeah, that
Yeah.
is true. That is true. I've had 2 people giving me mustard after a show. So I don't know. Maybe that could be the new thing.
My interactions are, I've had a lot of ridiculous. The thing is, if you're doing English comedy in a non-English speaking continent, and each place you go, you really get the dregs of society. So I have dealt with, I've had a woman stop the show. I mean, I have a joke about it, but she literally stopped the show and said, "Oh, that reminds me." Then she took a birth control pill and washed it down with beer while making eye contact with me the whole time. I had one woman yell at me that I was wrong, that we should, like, I had a joke about how the drinking age in Austria being 16 is too low because I don't want to go to a bar. When people are going to bars to get drunk and hook up with people, why should we be in the same, like, why should 50-year-olds be in the same place as 16-year-olds if they're all trying to get drunk and get laid? And that's my main point, is don't have sex with children. It's one of the least controversial things I've ever said or could possibly say.
And you say a lot of controversial.
And I was 7 minutes into my show when I made this joke, an hour-long show, and this woman for 7 minutes straight started yelling about how I was wrong and arguing with me about that while I was on stage, and no one in the audience took my side. That was another odd one. What's it like living together as comedians? That's the next question.
Yeah. I thought it'd be funnier.
Well, with gold like that, it's not surprising that it wasn't. So,
Hey!
people ask that as if it's going to be like a laugh a minute. We're just going to be loving every second of it. It's living with somebody. It's the exact same thing. And I would say the sex is more obnoxious, but aside from that, okay, these are the Corona questions. Are you ready for Corona questions?
Oh my god. Yeah, sure.
I don't know. I don't want to talk too much about Corona just because I feel like it's
overdone.
It's hack at this point. Every time I see Sebastian Kurz come on the ORF and be like, "Okay, we have new regulations," I'm like, "This fucking hack. This is it's been done so many times already."
Sebastian, please come up with a new topic.
China 3 months ago.
Yeah. How are we holding up? How are we passing time?
I'll let you answer because you're the one that has real opinions. I've kind of been fine with most of this.
Yeah, that's the thing. The more interesting question would have been. Sorry, but I coughed in there. I will say, but that the really frustrating thing is not to be able to do my job anymore. And yeah, I just got booked for this thing on the 17th of April. I'm gonna have an appearance on the Corona stage. That is organized through Standard, the newspaper in Austria, and yeah, and I was filming that 2 days ago and then edited it yesterday, and it just felt like, oh my god, my life has purpose again.
The last 3 days have been a little bit rough. I had about 18 days worth of this is totally fine for me, and before I started getting just depressed. But it really is a thing where I work really hard and really nonstop. Again, to the point where twice a year I have a nervous breakdown because I'm pushing myself so hard. So when it's finally like, hey, this is how hard you work for not necessarily much money. Do you want to work just as hard for no possibility of money? Or do you want to take your forced vacation? I'll take my forced vacation with a fucking smile. But yeah, I've been playing video games a lot, and I've been doing TikTok. I've been TikToking the fuck out of shit right now. Daily videos on TikTok. If you're watching this right now and you haven't gotten TikTok, get TikTok. If you have gotten TikTok, at the Reginald Bärris, that's me. And my biggest video of literally any social media platform I ever used was a video of us failing at yoga. We were doing an acro yoga thing, and we just made a highlight reel of us falling, and it has about 220,000 views right now.
Yeah, because that's what we're really good at, failing at yoga.
The first video that I put on TikTok is my second most viewed one. It was about Europeans being alcoholics, and that one has about 33,000 views right now, and it is on one hand, it's good because it's my social media platform, but it really is a shame that the most viewed thing I've ever put out onto the internet is a video of me failing. So thank you very much, and in the meantime, I still post weekly videos on YouTube at the Reginald Bärris, and I have about probably at least 60 videos backlogged weekly. A lot of them are crowd work. I got some stand-up, I got some roast battles, I got a bunch of stuff. So follow me there if you're looking for entertainment right now, and follow me on TikTok if you're doing that, and if you're not doing that, fucking get with the program. It is great to have your life dictated by 17-year-olds.
And yeah, also if you speak German and you are interested in comedy and cabaret, please look at the Corona stage on Der Standard the 17th of April. I will do like a 20-minute set there.
Thank you very much. This was Comedians in Quarantine. My name is Reginald Bärris. You can find me at The Reginald, Facebook.com/The Reginald Bärris, Instagram.com/The Reginald Bärris, YouTube, The Reginald Bärris, TikTok /@The Reginald Bärris. And I think that's everybody mentioned, so goodbye.
Hey! And you can find me on Facebook.com/Sonia Pickard Comedian, on Instagram @Sonia Pickard. Thank you guys for watching. Have a good one.
Bye.